What is up, everybody? Welcome to Cult of Collectors. We are back with a guest that we've had before, AJ from the House of Masks. And then, of course, you've got John down below, my co-host. We
What's
did
going
have
on?
Jody, but he's going to be running a little bit late tonight. But we're supposed to be doing a giveaway. It's going to be four winners tonight instead of just one. So if you guys want to be entered in it, just be sure to comment down below that you'd like to be entered, and we'll put you in. And then at the end of the stream, we'll go ahead and pick those winners and go from there.
You'll be entered on the Wheel of Death.
Yep, the Wheel of Death. Four winners. Just let us know in the comments. And it is four titles that AJ picked, actually. So it was like Ghostbusters Afterlife. What was the other ones, John? Do you remember?
Had Green
It
Mile
was
in there.
Green Mile, yes.
Lost Boys. What else? I don't remember the fourth one.
I missed school for this. That's funny.
Apologize, everybody. Only some. Okay, we got Clockwork Orange,
Yeah.
Green Mile, Lost Boys, and Ghostbusters Afterlife.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go. So those are the titles to win for tonight. All right. So
Angel
what's
said he
been
missed school for this. So.
I know he missed school for this, but so AJ, for the past year, what has been going on?
Everything, dude. More than I could possibly list right now. Definitely 2022 was the busiest year I've ever had in my life. So, like I said before the stream started, the content on the channel just shifted so hard, in a good way, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, we've just done all kinds of live events and concert related stuff, and we started throwing that festival, and now planning has started for the second official year of Pale Fest. So
Nice.
I'm starting to go into kind of a slow season with content and more of like a planning stage, but the fact that it lasted this long after Halloween was pretty impressive too. So
Yeah, I mean, because you've had a couple of guests on your, channel that are, I would say, idols of yours in a sense, to your favorite band ever, Slipknot.
yeah, absolutely. We started 2022. I went out to Colorado and shot stuff with my all-time favorite mask company. And then we worked some deals with them. So I released a signature mask through Distortions Unlimited, which was cool. I have a signature shoe out with my favorite skateboard-related company ever, Fallen Footwear. Went to Richmond and started doing videos with certain members of GWAR, and then ended the year throwing a concert with Sid Wilson of Slipknot and shooting videos with him and Jay Weinberg. So it was definitely a stacked year, and that was just the stuff that I could think of. We did stuff with Mudvayne, even
Yeah.
ICP. ICP was like a random one that got thrown in there somehow. So it's been a strange star-filled year or something.
Well, no, I mean, that's cool because, I mean, you having Sid Wilson on your channel and stuff, it was fun to see you two kind of like bounce off each other because he was like, oh, who's trolling who now, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that was fun to watch. It seemed like you guys are almost like a kindred spirit in some way.
Yeah, a lot of people think that like that just happened, but in reality, me and Sid have formed a relationship over the last couple of years. I'd say probably 3 or 4 years now, but it was all online. So the most that we would get was like a FaceTime or a phone call or whatever. And he had hit me with an idea before Pale Fest, which he wasn't going to be able to attend because of like some family stuff. And then we did that. I think that he was like stoked with how that little collaboration thing turned out, and he hit me up again and asked if we could do this concert for this band that he was producing.
Nice.
And I had never taken on anything like that in my life. I'd never promoted any sort of shows, and man, it was the most stressful month ever, but I figured it out, and I think that he was impressed again. So that was what actually got him to come out here. And yeah, it wasn't weird. Everybody's like, oh, like, how are you not like fangirling and stuff? It's like, I've had this guy's phone number for a long time, so it's cool.
Yeah.
And he is an idol and stuff, but at this point, it really is like a friendship and almost like a business
Oh, of
type
course.
thing too. So, but yeah, he's a super troll, and I'm learning from the best, so I have to give it back to him.
Well, it's funny because I think it was 2008 where I went to the Monster Mayhem Energy Festival is what it was called. And Slipknot was headlining, and it was before Paul had passed away, actually. But it was during the time when Sid broke his ankles during the tour. And I actually got to meet him without meeting him, in a sense. Like, he signed my magazine. There was like no handshake, no hey, how's it going kind of deal. It was one of those, I knew he was in a wheelchair basically being pushed around. I was like, I'll just leave him alone, get an autograph, and just thank you, you know.
Yeah. No, he's super cool. Watching him interact with the fans was one of the coolest things about it. Like, the night before the show, he was here at the building, and we had shot some stuff, and we were going to take him back to the hotel, and it was like 4 a.m. And we just decided that we would drive him past the venue because he hadn't seen it yet. So we took off down the street, and we round the corner, and there were already people camping out, and it was like 20 something degrees outside.
Yeah.
And, he was like, dude, we need to stop and talk to them. We need to like go give them stickers or something. So we pulled over, and needless to say, these people were really surprised, but he was like warming their legs up and stuff. He's a really, really nice dude.
That's cool.
Yeah. And like the learning lessons that I got out of that weekend, even without him being like, hey, I'm going to teach you something. Like, we would just have conversations, and certain things that he would say would make so much sense to me. And I've been able to apply that to like a business sense, and I know that it'll keep happening too. He just plants like these little. He's like a weird mad genius. He's a weirdo. He's
smart. I would definitely say that Sid is almost like genius level, in my opinion, for the way he does like his masks, and the one he gifted you, that one that flashed like different, I guess, selfies or something.
Yeah, it's like 3 actual selfies of him that he just took straight from his phone and put on the mask, but they look so weird on there that they look like this weird, like, distorted art. But yeah, dude, that all goes into it. Like, he puts so much thought into all that. You wouldn't think that the dude that was like hitting his head off of stuff and jumping off the stage like him would be so on another level and weird, and like all that alien stuff and all the robot stuff that he thinks about and puts into his stuff. Like, he is that alien. Like, he is very strangely in tune with that type of thing. So
it's almost like that genius level of people who do like script writing for, like, say, Star Wars or Star Trek, you know, where they're able to have that linguistic skill of coming up with their own language for a film, TV show, whatever it may be. And he just does it for his own entertainment, but he understands what he says.
Absolutely.
Well, the old Star Wars and Star Trek, not so much the new stuff.
So. To be fair.
Well, I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like
I'm just messing with you.
No, I know. What did this person say? When can we get House of Masks and Cult of Collectors merch?
Where can we get House of Masks? We don't. Cult of Collectors don't have any merch yet, but I'm sure House of Masks has plenty of merch. So
yeah, houseofmaskstore.com. It's not House of Masks store, just houseofmaskstore.com.
There you go. Yeah, make sure you type it in correctly.
Yeah, buy all of my things. I want your money.
It's what Edward Furlong said in one of his little Instagram stories. He goes, "Come see me. I want your money." Just like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to the people. You get a cool T-shirt and I get your money, so it's a win-win.
Are you on TikTok as well?
God, unfortunately, I have a TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, you do.
I set it up so that nobody else would steal the username or whatever. And I'll occasionally toss a video on there just to try to bring people over to the apps that I actually care about. But man, I hate that app.
Yeah, I don't even have it on my phone. I was just wondering for the banner down here. So yeah, but if you don't use it, I won't put it up there.
Yeah, I would just stick with Instagram and YouTube.
I mean, I have a TikTok, and I've actually grown on that more than I have YouTube in itself. But then I have to be fair. I haven't put too much out, but I'm starting to get that, going again by trying to do like my collection of my videos. And but I'm doing it like I'm splitting it up to like part 1, part 2, part 3. So that way I can actually space them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't figure the algorithm out. Like, I'll toss something up that I don't even care about, and it'll go viral in 2 or 3 days. And then other times I'm like, okay, this will be a real solid one. Like, people are going to like this. It gets like 2,000 views. I'm like, all right. So
yeah, because on TikTok I have a video where it says, "Tell me you're a fan of this movie," by quoting a line from it, and it was for the movie Spaceballs. And I did one of the, scene parts, and then I said, if you guys know this movie, like, give a follow, let's be friends, whatever it may be. Got over like 20, almost 27,000 views in general, but I can't monetize it or anything like that because it was copyrighted music from TikTok itself.
Yeah, I don't understand any
Is
of
that
it.
correct? The houseofmaskstore.com, is that right?
Mask store.
Just mask, not masks.
Yep, just mask.
Okay.
I gotta make sure this phone is plugged in. It's got a thing about my battery for some reason.
Oh yeah. I had to make sure that my phone was charged before I even came on.
I have it plugged in, so I don't understand what the issue is.
Hey, you could need a new phone.
Probably.
Is it an Android or an iPhone?
iPhone.
iPhone. Mine's an Android.
Yeah, I don't understand what.
But see, John's got us beat because he's actually using his computer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Anyway, because you were trying to say earlier that you're trying to think of how to utilize 2023 for your channel. And the question that I had for you was have you ever thought about expanding into, say, DC or Marvel masks? Whether it's like a Batman mask or something like that.
No, just because I'm not interested, even in the least bit in those universes.
Super.
Okay.
I'll get
Just
into
horror,
a villain every once in a while, but man, it's really tricky. I'm super specific.
Makes sense. I mean, it was just curious because since House of Masks, why not throw those in there?
Yeah. I love a good Joker thing. I like Bane a lot, but
Bane's cool.
Yeah, but outside of that, if I'm watching a DC or a Marvel movie, it's for the villain, and I always feel I guess I'm like that with horror movies too. But I always feel like the oddball out for doing that. I didn't realize how many people didn't like a good villain.
Oh yeah.
Especially until when the new Halloween trilogy started coming out, I saw people rooting for Laurie, and I was like, people go to these movies for Laurie? This is so weird to me. I thought everybody just wanted to see Michael Myers do Michael Myers stuff.
I mean, I'm sure it's kind of a split, for Halloween in general. So you got half Laurie and half Michael.
Yeah.
But I would say majority go for Michael Myers than they do for the Laurie Strode character.
Yeah.
But there is that small percentage that says Laurie.
Yeah.
It's just too bad that the MCU is kind of in the shape it's in, and I don't think we'll get a good Fantastic Four because the Doctor Doom is one of the greatest villains of all time. I just don't think we're going to get a good story. So
yeah,
it kind of sucks. That's a good mask.
Yeah, it's
Dr.
a good
Doom
outfit.
mask.
That'd be a cool one to get.
Yeah,
and I didn't mind the Fantastic Four that was a little bit more of a recent one where I think it was Michael B. Jordan who played oh my god, The Thing, I think it was, yeah.
Oh god, that was horrible. That was horrible.
But no, the thing is that Doctor Doom actually looked really cool in it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And visual effects were awesome. Maybe the storyline didn't work, but the visual effects were pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you want to, do you have one of your signature masks at arm's length there so we can take a look at it, or if you want to show it, or is it something you...
Not at arm's length, but I can grab one in about 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
No scripts here.
Yeah. And don't get mad at my constant interruption because that's my thing. If you guys watch it,
no,
I'm always talking over.
It's all good. I ain't worried about it.
So what have you been up to lately, Charlie?
Well, still doing the solar thing, so I'm still with the Sunrun people.
Oh yeah. Well, I never knew your new job. I don't think I never did ask you about it. I don't think.
I thought I told you, but I guess if I didn't,
Yeah.
then yeah, I'm doing solar.
What does that mean?
Like I make appointments for people who want to like do solar energy instead of like electricity, like with Southern California Edison or like the PG&E company, which is like basically the gas and electric.
Gotcha.
So
I
yeah.
didn't know. We just got a whole bunch of like solar farms here in Ohio, and they're like insane. They go as far as your eyes can see. So
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if you were like installing stuff like that, but yeah, I guess that makes
Well,
sense.
where I live is pretty much farmland. It's
Yeah.
the Central Valley of California, so a lot of your food source comes from us.
Gotcha.
And now we're going to install all kinds of crap so we can't grow food.
I know. I feel like a lot of shit's dying, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of my food is actually grown at this point.
I know.
It's
Like,
scary.
how free range are we talking? A
Right.
foot?
All right. So I've got the new ones here.
Okay.
Because in early 2022 I changed. This was like my OG.
Nice.
So I had that from like 2016 until 2022. But then like obviously the channel has been getting bigger and bigger, and just felt like time for a change. And this kind of happened organically by accident. Like my friend Bishop just wanted to take a life cast of me. So we did, and I ended up taking a couple copies and just like painting them up.
Nice.
And,
Yeah.
it's got a whole, they all have like their own backstory or whatever. Basically, just like taking certain inspirations of mine and applying their kind of war paint to my face, because that's essentially what I'm doing with the channel. I'm just educating and entertaining based off of what
Oh,
these
yeah, of
people
course.
do. So that was the first one.
My dudes, what's up, Justin?
What's going on, man?
There's the second one.
Oh no, so sick.
Is it fair to say that your masks are kind of like almost influenced by Joey Jordison?
I do have a Joey influenced one. I really haven't worn it too much. So this one's based on this one's actually based on a drummer, John Rice. He's played in a lot of bands, but when he was with Behemoth, he had a corpse paint.
Behemoth. Okay, I was about to say that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that.
Did he ever play for Dimmu Borgir too, or no?
I don't think so. His big
No?
the big
Okay.
band that he was in, like, and was well known for, was Job for a Cowboy.
Okay.
This one is based on West Borland. Oddly enough,
Oh,
West
nice.
Borland had like one of the coolest corpse paints ever, which is hilarious because it's Limp Bizkit.
Very theatrical, West Borland.
Yeah, he was the first theatrical musician that I can ever remember like seeing. And then this is the one that I've been wearing a lot lately.
Nice.
It looked so clean and new when I first got it, but like through the shows and stuff that we've done, it's just taken on like all this weathering, and the insides of them are destroyed also.
That's a mess that could be an America Horror Story.
Yeah, this thing is it's a weird one.
I think it's cool though.
Yeah, it's cool.
So those are the three main ones. These ones are probably just about retired. I wore them through the entirety of 2022, and like they were really clean when I got them, but this one's got kiss marks all over it. And then like they were white, and they're obviously not white anymore. They're definitely like very destroyed, but
I kind of like the wear and tear look on them though.
yeah, I love it. I just don't want them to go too far, and I don't want them
Of course.
to bust or crack or be like irreplaceably damaged. This one's already got like duct tape on the inside, and they've just been through like a lot. They've gone across the country with me and all kinds of different shows and conventions and interviews and whatever else. So this one came along, and as it started changing, I started liking it more and more. So that's the one that I've kind of been sticking with for the last couple of months.
Nice.
Yeah, I debuted this one at the show that me and Sid put on.
Oh, that's the mask. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the only one I haven't painted myself either. I had someone else paint this because the idea was that I was influenced by this lady's makeup, and that's how we became friends. So I asked her if she would paint it, and she painted it. So it's like her makeup done by her on my face. It's pretty special.
Justin
so.
wants to know if that's your favorite one out of those masks.
It's my favorite one to wear right now, but I think my favorite one is probably the OG.
Okay.
It's the first. Like, you can't replace that type of sentimentality. So, aesthetically, yeah, I'd say this one's probably my favorite. But just in terms of, like, this one's just done the most and been around the longest, and it was the first one. So, yeah. But I love them all. Like, if this place was on fire, I would definitely try to save all of them.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
No. You're probably like me though. You got so much stuff. I mean, I'm sure you got a lot more masks.
Oh yeah.
Than I have movies, but
that I've barely even worn. I have a.
Yeah.
So those are plastic, but I have a latex copy that I sent off to this dude who does like the best leather face masks I've ever seen, and he did like the Pretty Woman version, and it's super creepy, but I can't wear it. It's super uncomfortable to wear. And I do have a Joey version, but I barely worn that one, so I didn't grab it. But yeah.
He wants to know what's the hardest one you've made so far.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Man, which mask have I put the most time into? I mean, out of these guys, none of them were really hard because everything just kind of came together super naturally. I mean, this one was a pain to map out. There's all kinds of grays and little subtle things in there, but the replica stuff is way, way harder than this type of thing. You're like studying details on a mask that were placed there just completely naturally or by accident or obviously wear and tear or whatever, and you're trying to like nitpick every single little scratch or whatever. So the Slipknot stuff is pretty next level. I'd say probably one of the clowns or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that yourself? Do the paint work and everything yourself?
Yeah, I don't like everything between the finished sculpt to the pulls of the mask. Like, I hate messing with plaster. I don't want to mess with raw latex. I don't want to cut. But once I have a blank in hand, like, I love painting and finishing stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and sculpting's fun, but I just don't get to do it. Like, I'm just too busy with other stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. Now I remember seeing a video that you did with Chad of Mudvayne.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the intro that you did where it was talking about like how this almost didn't happen because something, I guess, went wrong to where, was there a miscommunication or something, or were they just not wanting to do the interview?
Man, it's a real weird story that just continued to get weirder after that video dropped. So what I kind of lied in that intro to cut slack for Mudvayne and save face for them because I like Mudvayne.
Oh,
However,
of course.
The truth was, it wasn't all the venue's fault. It was Mudvayne's road manager, not their full-time manager, but the dude that was doing the actual tour management was just a pud. Like, he was just a super douche.
Mm-hmm.
And he just couldn't care less about this type of stuff, which, I mean, whatever. But when the guy above you is telling you to come take care of us, you should probably just do that thing. And even just trying to make small talk with him, like after he got us in, he was just like, dude, you represent people that are cooler than you. You don't mean anything to me. I'm being nice to you because I'm a normal person. I'm not here to interview you. I don't think that you're cool. You don't play in this band, like, whatever. So that was the first issue. The second issue was that we did walk in to the dressing room while Shenanigans was doing some sort of podcast. But that's the time that they allotted us. That's the time that the tour manager told us to go into the green room. And really, I don't fault Shannon at all because she was already doing her thing in there. What should have happened was Chad should have said, okay, we're ready for the interview. Let's go into this room that's quiet where my wife isn't talking on a live stream. But he didn't do that. I literally, like, before we started, I said, hey, I think her audio is going to affect this. And I still have the raw clip too. He sets his hand on my shoulder and he looks at me and smiles. And he's like, you know, that's my wife, right? And I said, yeah. And he was like, I'm not going to tell her to leave. I was like, okay, whatever. Well, let's get this over with. We've only got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, because say if Chad were to see this stream right now, I would tell you, Chad, there's such a thing as professionalism. You should know better. No offense to you. I still like you. I still love the band. You guys make great music. But remember, they're human just like you are too. And if your wife is going to, kind of bleed into the audio of the interview in a sense, I mean, come on. Just common respect.
So I put the video out, and I kind of gave the venue more shit than I should have. Can I cuss on here? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of gave the venue a little more of the blame than what it was, because I didn't want to sour a relationship with Mudvayne. So the video comes out. Chad had shared it on his story and was like, "Thanks, dude. Had a great time." Well, within like 10 minutes, the story was gone. And he had commented on my picture of us together on Instagram where I had announced that the video was up. And he was like, "Wow, dude, dissing me, my girl, and my crew, not cool." And I was just like, on what planet do you think that that's true, where I actively lied and blamed the venue and not you when I could have? So what I think happened was they probably realized how silly they made themselves look.
Mm-hmm.
And they felt weird about it, so they got mad at me for even putting the video up or something. The whole thing's just silly. I've had multiple people in the Mudvayne camp reach out and apologize for it, so I'm good with Mudvayne.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not good with Chad Gray, and I'm not good with his wife, but I would take an apology. So,
of course.
Yeah, and for some reason, their media guy, Wombat Fire, has an issue with me too. I'll make sure to send him an invoice for me saying his name on here and giving him some exposure. But
go for it.
Yeah, fuck that guy too, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, hell, if that shit happened to me, I'd definitely call them out on it, because it's funny. Even though, like, say what I do for my work, if I'm being polite to you and yet you're being a dick to me, I am gonna call you out on it.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm being cordial with you, nothing else. I'm just like, hey, how's it going? Would you like to da-da-da-da? And if not, cool. It's okay.
If he remembers me from that interview, he's going to be pretty unhappy with how things turn out in 2023, because I've got some stuff planned that I think is pretty cool, but also hilarious.
Can't wait to see it then.
But here's the thing. Here's what I compare it to, because within a 2-week span, we did the gathering with Shaggy 2 Dope from ICP, and we did the Mudvayne thing. So we did the Mudvayne thing. I think it was actually like 2 or 3 days apart. I don't know anything about ICP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of their music. I have my preconceived thoughts about their fan base and stuff because of, I mean, we all see the internet. I don't know, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So we get invited to this thing because Shaggy knew who I was. He had followed my Instagram and stuff. And he wanted me to come be a guest on that podcast that they were doing. And I was like, that'd be sweet. And then I can film the gathering because it's crazy, and I can go experience this crazy thing, and we can film that too. So we go there, and I made it very known from the second that I walked into this dude's really nice Airbnb where we were shooting the podcast, that I was like, I'm out of my element here. I don't know anything about ICP. I'm sorry. That guy was the nicest guy in the industry that I've ever dealt with in my entire career.
Nice.
So nice. He was begging to get us refreshments out of the fridge. He's like, "Can I get you guys something, please? Is there anything that we can do?" There was no rush. There was no, it was just super courteous, super professional.
Yeah,
absolutely won my respect. And it just put it into perspective that I walked into the Mudvayne green room as a fan, lied for them, still made the best out of it, and still got kind of shit on my end. But then this ICP dude who has I guess the reputation that they have and whatever, and I don't know anything about them, treated me better than anybody else had ever treated me.
I was about to say, I've heard more good about ICP than a lot of artists in general when it comes to actually having a sit-down interview or conversation with them.
Yeah.
They're just down-to-earth guys. They talk about how they don't asshole dicks who hit their women and stuff like that, or what, they voice stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because when you listen to the music, you would think they'd be like that. Nah, not really.
Well, yeah, I feel bad for ever saying anything bad about them if I did.
Nah.
But yeah, I will always vouch for them, and we've already talked about doing more stuff in the future, which I will gladly do.
Nice. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Chad Gray, on the other hand, I'll accept my apology in the form of an apology.
I was going to jump in here and say, everybody out there that's in the chat, if you guys want to be entered in the giveaway at the end of our stream here, this will be giving away 4 movies. There'll be 4 winners. It's Clockwork Orange, Green Mile, Lost Boys, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. All the 4K editions of those. And if you want to be entered, you have to leave us a line in the chat. So go ahead and get your questions in or get your messages in. We appreciate it. You've already been entered, Justin. So
we lost Charlie.
Oh, he stepped out for a second there. No, but I was getting at earlier. It's like your collection's like mine. It's so big that if you did have a fire, hopefully, God, I'd never have a fire.
Yeah.
That there's no way I could get my stuff out.
Nope. Yeah, it's a scary thought. Every time I leave the building, I'm like, man, did someone leave an imaginary curling iron on or something?
Yeah. Are you? But do you have like a metal building? Like, is it metal or is it?
It's a brick building. It's like a 215-year-old Masonic lodge, and it's huge.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So it's probably not fireproof. Like, I mean, no building's technically fireproof, but like like a metal structure building would be less prone to fire than like a wood structure, wood roof, things like that.
No doubt.
Yeah. But there was something else I was going to ask you a minute ago, and Justin was asking earlier about you do more than just Slipknot masks. Of course, I know you do. You do a lot of different masks and things like that. What's one of your favorite horror movies of all time, especially something you may want to emulate in a mask, things like that?
I mean, definitely my all-time favorite horror movie is Halloween 2, 1981. I feel like the portrayal of Michael Myers and his image in that is like the most perfect Myers that has ever existed. But a lesser-known favorite is Tourist Trap.
Yeah.
That is a movie that was way ahead of its time and will definitely never get the credit that it deserves.
Yeah. Yeah, AJ has an Instagram. It's House of Masks on Instagram. So, and on YouTube.
Yeah.
How many followers you up to on YouTube now?
YouTube is 155,000. And then Instagram is 86,000.
Yeah. You might want to think about making a Rumble channel. Like Rumble's like they're kind of they're trying to get a lot of different types of media.
Yeah.
It's a lot of political stuff for the most part, but you might go over there. I don't post anything over there just yet, but they you might be able to get a following over there, and it's easier to get monetized and things. So you might be able to make a few dollars over there too. And you can actually there's a way to do it, but there's a way you can mirror your site. Like when you upload something to YouTube, it'll automatically upload it to Rumble.
Oh, really?
It's like it's a site mirroring program. I don't know exactly what it is at the moment, but it makes it easy so you can just upload simultaneously to 2 different platforms and makes it a little bit easier on you. But it's something you can think about if you want to make a few more dollars here and there.
Yeah. I was until about 2 weeks ago, I was always under the assumption that it was like a crazy like political right-wing thing, and then these motorcycle dudes that I watch, YouTube's been like chopping their channels down because of like dangerous activity or whatever, and they're all switching to that. And one of the dudes explained, he was like, listen, it's not a political thing, it's just they allow us to do our stuff here.
Yeah.
So
they're trying to get more content over there. They're trying to be more user friendly. A lot of people, I mean, they're working with some people, big creators. I mean, you would be considered a big creator over there and they're working deals with some of these people just to have different types. And some of the guys I do listen to are political, but they're trying to get other kind of platforms up there because they want to compete with YouTube, and
Yeah.
with YouTube being such a censorship machine, they're really picking up a lot of the scraps that are coming off of YouTube and trying to really help out that community. Because it's not just it's not just one side of the aisle that's getting hit. It's both sides.
Yeah.
Anything that's so you never know what you could get hit on. You get hit with one day, and you never know.
Yeah,
One
absolutely.
day you get on there and be somebody's offended at you having horror masks. It's stupid, but it's crazy.
You have to check it out.
So what do you have coming up
What's
as far as
next?
your channel goes and things like
I
that?
don't really
You,
know.
you said you had an event for the summer. What is that all about?
It's in October. We just announced the dates, and now the next 9 months are going to be prepping and just getting stuff ready for that. It gets bigger every year. The first year wasn't really the same thing. It was just kind of what started the idea. We had like an open house here, so people could come in and see the place, and we did like a meet and greet. And then I had one vendor in here, and it was my best friend's company, Paleface, who does all this stuff. Like they help with these death masks and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a tent up front. It was really atmospheric and really cool, and they did really well, very well for a 4-hour event or whatever it was. So as soon as it was over, we were like, okay, like next year we need to do something legit. We need to have other vendors. We need to make like a festival out of it. And then that went really well. So this year we're doing 3 days instead of one, and hopefully it's the next big thing in the convention circuit.
Where is that convention? Is it in Columbus? Is that you're close to Columbus, aren't you?
Yeah, we're about 45 minutes away from Columbus, but we do everything right here in my hometown of Chillicothe.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, obviously I can't move the building. I guess I could take pieces of the collection to a convention
Oh, I
center,
see.
but
Okay,
yeah,
I see. Yeah.
Chillicothe's like just as big a part of it as the masks are. So everybody's like, oh, you're going to bring it to so-and-so. And I'm like, I just don't think it'll ever leave this city.
Well, if you're pretty much displaying your work, it'd be hard to bring
Yeah.
500 pieces out.
Yeah.
So do you have other like people that come to your event? Do you have other mask makers and other people, other vendors and such things?
Yeah. I think we had 12 vendors last year.
Yeah.
And it was everything from like other YouTube personalities to mask makers. We had some local places here. There's a place called 50 West. It's like a burger joint right down the street. That's where we had that concert too.
Okay.
They're like super cool and involved with the community and stuff. And they were down here doing the food, and trying to think of what else. We had like cool like photo op stuff. So we had like an event photographer, and he had a booth set up where you could come in and like take pictures with props or certain backgrounds or whatever, and then he would get these really nice crystal clear images sent to you and stuff. So
Nice.
anything that you could think of that would be welcomed in the community was kind of represented there. So the only difference this year, aside from the fact that we're doing it bigger and longer, is we didn't have live music last time, and the venue that we picked this time has like a big legit stage. So I think
Nice.
at least 2 nights we should have live music, which will be cool.
What size is that community you're in, Chillicothe? How big of a town is that? I'm trying to think if I've ever been through it or not. I possibly have been at one time or another.
I think our county is like 80,000.
Okay.
Let me look it up just because now I want to know. In 2021, it was 76,800.
Okay.
So it's definitely not huge, but it's almost good that way because it's not a big annoying city like a Columbus or something. So when people come here, they love just being able to walk around, like all these little shops and stuff. Definitely has a cool vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of like it is where I'm at. And in Kentucky here in Richmond. I think our counties probably got more than that, but the individual cities. But it's problem. The problem with Richmond, it's not like it doesn't have. It does have a downtown and stuff like that, but it's not. Nothing's like really centrally located. So there's nothing like you can't like really do that well. It's
Yeah.
kind of there's not a lot here. I mean, we got like the Civil War stuff here, like Civil War parks and things like that. But
Yeah.
other than that, there's not a whole lot of tourism here. So
Did you say Richmond, Kentucky?
yeah,
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
it's south of Lexington,
Gotcha.
about 15 minutes south. So due south, pretty much.
Yeah. When I heard Richmond
There-
and then I heard Civil War, I was thinking Richmond, Virginia, but I was like, I swear
Yeah.
he said Kentucky after that.
Yeah, I mean there were some Civil War battles fought here throughout the county, things like that. But
Gotcha.
technically, Kentucky wasn't. They were neutral in the Civil War, technically. But yeah, it came through here. Got like a lot of graveyards and stuff like that. There were some cool areas too. I've been out metal detecting in some areas trying to find stuff, but I say most of that stuff's been picked through. I found some cool old stuff. Me and another guy that I used to work with, he was into metal detecting as well, and we went out to a old house and found us a lot of stuff. He found like an old ring. I found a pair of like old scissors. I don't know how old they were. Some of the best places to look for stuff when you're metal detecting is around trees where somebody may have sat down and stuff falls out of their pockets, or they sit down to do something and left something laying. But I found like an old pair of scissors, but I don't really know. They were pretty corroded up, so I have no idea how old they actually were. But
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. But
Yeah. Have you ever gone geocaching?
mm-mm.
I was into that like probably 10 years ago, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big it was, but Chillicothe was full of them. So
Yeah, geodes.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened to Charlie. I don't know if he had to hit the bathroom or something.
you fell in.
Jody, so yeah, must have fell in something. What bands kind of have played at that event that you have?
The show that we did was local openers called Bather. They're only semi-local. Some of the guys are from Chillicothe, and then other people are from Columbus. But and then Sid's band, Swollen Teeth, the band that he's producing, was the middle act, and then Kissing Candace was the headliner. It was a super rad show. We crammed it into a tiny venue on purpose, and it made it very exclusive, and it looked like just like a mid 2000s like hardcore show.
Yeah.
I don't think that Chillicothe had ever seen anything like it, and I definitely don't think that the venue that agreed to let us put it in there knew what they were getting themselves into. But it all went off well, so no one got hurt. Nothing really got broken.
Yeah, I was like, when I was younger, I was a sound engineer, and I did sound for a lot of metal bands. I think that's why I lost my taste for it a little bit. Because one of the place I kind of cut my teeth on running sound was it was an all ages club in Lexington, and it was just all metal, high school metal bands, and you had a few that were really good, and you of course you had some touring acts that would come through that were all right. And I ran sound for them, and then the same guy that owned that club bought a club across the street and named it Dante's, and it was they built a metal club upstairs to have like metal bands play, and it was all metal all the time there for a while for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was the hardest part about this, was like finding a reliable sound guy.
Yeah.
And finding a sound guy that had his own equipment.
Yeah. That's what I did a whole lot. I had my own stuff. I didn't have a gigantic setup, but I did it a whole lot. Like I would travel and take my setup with other bands, things like
Yeah.
that. But the guy that I kind of learned, the guy I kind of learned a little bit of sound engineering from, he was a big metal guy. He had this big setup, and it was all set up for it was all set up for metal. He had like thousands of dollars worth of you know effects equipment just to make the drums sound like metal drums. You know, the real clicky sounding drum. You know,
Hmm.
that kind of metal sound. And I mean, it was a he he knew what he was doing when it came to he had the setup for it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty fun. I had trouble. I started having trouble with my hearing, and I was like, instead of going deaf, I'm gonna give it up because it's
Yeah.
not worth going deaf to. There's
Yeah.
that movie that's out right now. I think it's called the Sound of Metal. That's
Hmm.
about that drummer that went deaf and stuff. But I haven't watched it because it hits too close to home. I don't want to watch it really. So
Yeah. I literally just heard about that, I think like two
yeah,
days ago. So I'd like to check it out.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
the older you get, I would recommend to stick some earplugs in occasionally if you're going to be around loud music like that.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. This year, it'll definitely be a priority to source a sound guy earlier. But
Yeah,
we didn't have a choice last time. It was like the show happened within a month of us even having the idea. So it was very like quick. And I mean, people already have stuff going on. It was Thanksgiving weekend. So
is it hard to find one in that area? Or?
yeah, I mean, there's a couple local people, but even then, I don't think that they're not super confident with the metal stuff because the music that takes place live here in town is all like cover bands or like open mic acoustic people.
Okay.
So these people are used to
Yeah.
running soundboards that are this big and
Oh yeah.
not messing with like towers and stacks and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
we got a guy from Columbus, and even then, everybody was super confident that recommended him, and there were still hiccups and problems and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, Jody hadn't joined us either. I don't know what's going on with him.
I'm
I don't
bad
know what.
luck. I'm just a bad luck son.
No, it's all right. But like I was saying earlier, anybody out there that's just joining us in the chat or joined us on the channel here, if you guys want to be entered in the giveaway at the end of the stream here, we'll be giving away Clockwork Orange, Scream Mile, Lost Boys, Ghostbusters Afterlife 4K, and we'll have 4 winners. And so far, we've got 4 people in here, so everybody's going to win at this moment. So everybody that's entered in will be a winner. So get your questions in, or your comments, and we'll read them on air here. So. But what's your favorite Slipknot song? I think we've asked you this before, but I don't think Justin was in here. So Justin Chris can
Uh,
ask this.
Favorite Slipknot song of all time is definitely Purity. Uh, it's like a self-titled deep cut, I guess, because it was only on one version of the album. But yeah, super good song. Specifically, the live version from Disaster Pieces. Yeah, that's all. I think that's always been my answer.
Yeah.
Not something that changes.
I've like I say, I don't really follow a whole lot of metal, but you're not a big ICP fan. I've never really followed them. I know the Juggalos and all that stuff and about all them, but I don't know a whole lot about their music. So.
Yeah, it's the same with me. I can't say that I like it or dislike it because I've never really. I've heard stuff. Nothing that I can even remember to tell you what I've heard, but I don't know. I just don't know anything about them.
Justin said Def one of their least, but Custer is probably mine. So.
Oh yeah, it's a newer one. I like the album that's on for sure.
Yeah. But God, I lost my train of thought there. I hate that when I just went blank from what I was going to ask you. What I was going to ask you, but
I feel like that's the story of my life lately.
yeah, sometimes I get like this. Sometimes I'm in a talkative mood, and sometimes I'm not. And that's why I was glad Charlie's on here because he can always keep it going a little better than I can sometimes. And I get like that sometimes. But
yeah, I feel like if I don't do exactly what I'm setting out to do at the moment, I will immediately get distracted, and then I'll forget what it even was.
Yeah.
And then bothers me.
I was going to ask you a mask-related question. I can't remember what it was. So.
I'm like 29 going on senile.
Yeah. Yeah, I smoked too much of something when I was younger and kind of slowed me down in my
I don't
older
even
age.
have that to blame. I can't even blame that because I've never smoked.
Yeah. But I was going to talk to you about you called yours death masks, and are you familiar with like Hollywood death masks and things like that? Do you have much interest in that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mostly
Like
know
these,
just because of just because of how like the Kirks were made and the Star Trek stuff, and
yeah.
I wonder how many of those are actually death masks rather than just life casts.
Right. Yeah. There was also there was life and death masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It is an interesting question.
Yeah, I'd like to know which ones were actually casted on a celebrity's dead body. That's a morbid thing, but
yeah. Unless it's something they requested to have done, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't really know unless there's just simply two different looking masks for the life mask and death mask.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'd want to have a life mask done. I think even the life masks are a little bit creepy.
They're creepy.
Some people,
and the process is like terrifying.
Yeah. This has to be. This has to be Robin Williams.
That's what it
looks
like.
Robin. It doesn't say though.
That just says a Jewish immigrant.
Yeah, maybe it's not. Looks like Robin Williams. Huh? Pretty wild. Beethoven, Ludwig van Beethoven. That might have been. That's pretty creepy. That's pretty wild. I was wondering if you had.
Oh, that's weird.
I was wondering if you had seen those before. Are you working on any? What are you working on any masks at the moment, or is you anything?
Yeah, but I can't tell anybody about them because they're like exclusive event things, or we've recently come into some contracts with certain bands that I also can't even get the name of. But I guess all in due time. I would say by the middle or beginning of summer, everybody will know exactly what those are, and I'll be able to talk about them and stuff. But they're big deal. Like,
what's going on, Mike?
Big deals.
Do you ever do any of the work, like do a live stream and do the work on there, or record the videos and do that?
Yeah, typically
while you're working on them.
Yeah, the live streams and stuff I'll do if it's a project of mine that I'm not trying to keep secret. Yeah. We are filming the process of these two band related pieces, just so when it's over and we can finally talk about it, we'll have like almost like a documentary style video showing from like concept and contract to it being used on stage or whatever.
Yeah.
This guy says hello. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mike's DVDs, but hello, sir.
It's Mike. Yeah. What's going on, Mike? Now, Mike, has me and Mike do another stream with just movies. We talk about old movies and things like that. So,
gotcha.
Mike's a friend of mine.
How do you pronounce that?
A little bit better. Oh, Dag. It's like Dagger. It's just Dag. Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel very Southern Ohio when I try to pronounce people's last names and stuff because I never get them right.
Yeah. I do my best, but I don't always get them right sometimes. Yeah. Do you have who else you keep saying we who all's involved in your mask making? Is it just like
always Paleface. It's a company.
Okay.
My best friend Bishop runs, him and his wife, and
okay.
It's all like 100% hand done stuff.
Okay.
And he lives about 2 hours away, so a lot of the time he'll come down or I'll go up and we'll work together. But he's also the one that co-runs that festival with me that we've been doing. So we are slowly figuring out how to be not only like mask makers and content creators, but now like festival runners and show promoters and like all this weird stuff. We're like, all right, well, I guess this is the next thing that we're going to learn how to do.
I was just thinking about Hellboy. Those are some pretty good stuff in there for as far as masks and stuff. What I was thinking about, I seen the gas mask guy you have in the back, and there's a character out of the comic book that he was just like an old man that wore the mask, but in the movie they turned him into the sword. Have you seen Hellboy, the first Hellboy? Like the guy with the swords, he's just like an old man in the comic, but in the sword they made him. But that character is pretty freaky. He's like has the fetish where he like cuts himself and amputations and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a freaky look when he has his mask off, where he has no lips or nothing, where he's done surgical and removed his eyelids and everything.
Yeah.
But that's some of the stuff in that movie is be some pretty cool stuff. But I know you don't do stuff from comic books and movies and things like that. But it's pretty awesome though that you've been so successful at doing that. I'm always glad to see somebody successful. That's the things that do really well on the internet, is something unique and different.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the realm of things that's not that unique, and I'm not that interesting anyway, so I'm not too worried about my limited success. But I always feel like if you can make it here, it's pretty interesting, because that's what's changing the kind of the celebrity culture this day, because like just normal people have access to do it themselves, and it's kind of changing the whole face of Hollywood and the way the people look at celebrities. Celebrities aren't the same as they used to be, and they'll become less and less because you can get on the internet and do it yourself, and so it's a pretty interesting world to be in.
Yeah, it's about fucking time too, because I hate celebrities. Most celebrities.
Yeah. There's a few, but they've become pretty annoying. They all want to be activists these days and stuff like that, and just I'm not saying that you have to keep your mouth shut, but a lot of them, I mean, obviously they have a platform and they think they have a right to do it. You always have a right to do it, but sometimes some of them need to keep their mouth shut. Like some of them. I was thinking of what's her name that she came out the other day. Crap. Think of her name. Hang on a second here. She's from Kentucky too. Jennifer Lawrence, I'm sorry. I went blank on her name. Jennifer Lawrence came out here recently, and she got a bunch of controversy where she was saying, basically, she said, well, she basically said that she was the first woman action star, and it's first female action star, and she got roasted for that. And people were like, oh, you've never seen Aliens before? And the countless other numerous movies that came out before you, Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been through all kinds of controversy here lately when it comes to just she basically like kind of like disenfranchised her own family and stuff because they supposedly supported Trump and all these things, all this craziness. And
I haven't even heard her name. I haven't heard her name in the longest time.
yeah, she hadn't done much of anything. I think technically a lot of people say that, yeah, her career slowed down and stuff like that, but I think she had a kid or two, at least one kid. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's just everything's upside down right now.
Yeah, I just wish that people did what they were supposed to do. Like, if you get paid to run with a ball, then just run with the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I'm saying, you have the right to say whatever you want, but at the same time, you don't denigrate the society that made you all your money either.
Yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. Had you heard nothing more and Asking Alexandria?
Wait, hang on. Asking Alexandria. I gotta look something up.
Okay.
I'm gonna feel really silly if
I'm back. Sorry.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I actually had to go pick up the girlfriend because she texted me while doing this and said, "I'm done."
No.
I was like, "Damn it."
I don't know anything about either of those bands that he asked about.
Asking Alexandria?
Yeah. I mean, I know.
Oh, you're not familiar with them?
But I don't know anything about them.
Huh.
What was the other one? Nothing More?
Nothing More. Nothing More, I think, is... Oh, I could be getting them mixed up because there's a band called Nothing Face.
Yeah.
I could be getting that one mixed up right now, so never mind. I'm going to shut my mouth on that one. But Asking Alexandria is kind of like metal and pop kind of core, almost death metal, like it's weird concept of metal.
Yeah.
And they even go classic rock sometimes. They're very influenced by Sebastian Bach's band. Oh, I'm forgetting the name of his band right now. That sucks.
Who was
Does he have a new band? Does he have like a new band? Or are you talking about the old band?
Old band from the 80s.
Was it Skid Row?
Yeah.
Skid Row, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't know about either of them.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier when my mind went blank on it. But I was going to say I don't listen to a lot, like hardly any new music at all. But I go back and listen to a lot of old. I like some of the older what we consider metal or hard rock, AC/DC and all that stuff. The classic stuff.
Yeah.
Some things, Skid Rows and all those things. And,
Me, I've actually been getting into a band called Bad Omens this last year of 2022 because they had their new album, Death of Peace of Mind. And it was my first time actually hearing them, even though they had been around for a good while. And then listening to their old stuff compared to what's the newer album, almost sounded like Bring Me the Horizon in a way. But now it sounds like they found their sound. It's pretty cool. I like it.
I've heard a lot of my friends like them.
Yeah, they're good. Like Noah, he can growl.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to the song Dethrone.
Yeah.
I recently made friends with the bass player of a band called Falling in Reverse.
Oh, nice.
Again, I don't know anything about them, but
Ronnie Radke, the singer.
Yeah, he was nice. Everybody, when I was going to the show to meet them or whatever, because I was linking up with him, I had a mask for him and stuff.
Nice.
They were like, "Watch out for Ronnie," blah blah blah. And then the dude walked in the dressing room, and we just sat there and argued about Ghost, very playfully, obviously, but no, he was super nice.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I've known about Ronnie Radke since he had his old band Escape the Fate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember the new guy's name that's still in the band now from when Ronnie left. But they're cool now because apparently there was Bad Blood at one point, and then they kind of squashed everything, and now everything's actually a little bit more redeemed in his lifestyle.
Yeah. I think they're like doing shows together.
Oh yeah, for a good while now they've been doing that. I like Falling in Reverse because when he first came out with Falling in Reverse, I didn't know how to really respond to it. It kind of almost sounded annoying at first, but as years went by and stuff like that, it kind of grew on me to where it didn't seem annoying. It didn't seem progressive or anything like that.
Yeah, they have a drummer now that's like one of my all-time favorite drummers. His name's Luke Holland.
Luke Holland. I was about to say I couldn't remember the name for a second, but I've been following Luke Holland before he was with them.
Yeah, he's a fucking monster.
Oh yeah, and I was following Charlie Ingen, who's now the drummer of Five Finger Death Punch. I was following him before they even asked him, "Hey, would you want to be a part of the band?"
Yeah, I remember him just doing
little shorts
on Instagram and shit. Yeah.
Yep. And that was fun to watch, and they were just like 30 seconds, maybe a minute.
Yep.
And it was pretty cool. And I'm friends with Aru Luster, the guitar player who used to be with the band Il Nino.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm actually Facebook friends with him. I'm Facebook friends with Chris Cale, the bass player of Five Finger Death Punch, surprisingly. And Ivan Moody's old band, Motograder, I'm actually friends with a lot of the bandmates.
Yeah, I'm friends with Mark Nosler, who was the keyboardist. He does like all of our art directive for any of the festivals and concerts.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
So an ex-Moto.
Yeah, he's definitely like he's a ride or die guy for us.
I thought he was bass player, though.
Yeah, he did like keyboards and stuff.
Huh. Who was it that did bass? Does he have long hair?
He
or
used
did?
to. Yeah, now he's short hair.
Huh. Mark, I'm almost positive he did bass.
a metal guy with not long hair.
We're not metal anymore. See, like
yeah.
we did all this stuff 10 years ago or even longer than that. So now we're all old and we just like bluegrass and hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't even keep up with a lot of. I swear I did so much music in the like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. As far as like I was telling AJ earlier, I used to run sound. You know it too, but a lot of the stuff I did was working. I did a lot of shows for the local college radio station here in University of Kentucky, which they had like a really good radio station. It was like student ran, so it was like very independent, so you had a little bit of everything on there. You might have had a metal show or something, but mostly the guys that I did, it was just like kind of college rock and the bands, kind of the indie bands of the time. So I was into that kind of scene for a long time, so that's what I was kind of into, stuff like that more. And I'm just kind of into a lot of different like 60s, 50s and 60s pop, psychedelic pop, things like that.
Like David Bowie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like David Bowie.
Like the Beach Boys, Beatles.
I like them all.
The Zombies.
I like them all.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Like, even for being like a so-called metalhead, I still like the older music, I like the Beatles. I like, I like the Jackson 5,
Yeah.
Just a lot of classic bands in general, like the Supremes.
Dude,
I like
Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Yeah.
Like ELO, I like stuff like that, the prog rock, stuff like that.
But the 80s
ELO
music is my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the era I grew up in. It's just, it might be just because I grew up in that era, but some of those songs are just like you hear the first note and you're like, yep, that's an 80s song. That definitely come out of the 80s. A lot of synth music. A lot of they were synth heavy and things like that. And and you could tell a lot of it. They were experimenting with digital recordings then, and so you kind of have like some of it's like you go back and listen to it. It's like it's kind of sterile, kind of stale sounding because it was like the early attempts at digital recordings, like on DAT tape and stuff like that, and it just sounds bad. Like I have a record in my vinyls that are in storage, but I have a record of Dweezil Zappa. It's this solo album he did like in the early 80s, I believe, when he was young. It's just him shredding guitar. I mean, he was an awesome guitar player. You may not. Dweezil Zappa is Frank Zappa's son. Frank
Oh, okay.
Zappa is a big, like, kind of psychedelic rocker.
I know who Frank Zappa is.
Yeah. But Dweezil's his son, and it sounds so horrible because it was done digitally. It's definitely, they were experimenting with like digital recording system. It's just,
Yeah.
but it's, I mean, he shreds on guitar though. But yeah, all of Frank's kids had weird names. His Dweezil and his daughter was Moon Unit Zappa. Moon Unit. She went by Moon Zappa, but full name was Moon Unit. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And he claimed, the thing was funny about Frank was he claimed that he didn't do drugs, so that was his thing. He wouldn't let people in his band do drugs, and he didn't do drugs. He's just out there, just kind of a guy, you know.
Whatever works, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Moon Unit.
Anything I want to show off? Oh, yeah. I forgot this is new because Jody helped me get it.
Hmm.
What is that? Is it a movie or is it just like a?
No, it's the crow.
Okay,
It's a figure.
I see.
Yeah.
Who made that figure?
This company, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Can
I
you-
haven't taken it out of the box. I may not. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm just keeping it there for now.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My biggest
That's
problem
it.
with stuff like that is like, all right, I need two. I need
Two,
one
exactly.
to keep in the box and one to take out.
Yeah. I've been meaning to do that with my Funkos, like start getting like two of each. So then that way I have one that's in the box and then one out of the box.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the
It's
ass.
kind of funny, Charlie. Like back in the summer, I went and hung out with an old friend of mine, and like his bandmate that lives across the street from him, we went over and hung out with him for a minute. And I walked in, and I was talking about collecting movies, and he's like, "Yeah, check this out." And he walked in this room. His whole house was filled with Funko Pops.
Oh, wow.
I love to have him on here. But they're in a kind of a crazy. You probably like their music. They're good, but they're like kind of a metal band, kind of a crazy metal band too. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
Yeah, I'm not a crazy
They,
Funko collector, but I collect what I like.
Yeah.
yeah, they wear masks too when they. I forgot all about that. God, I'm stupid. Yeah, they wear masks and stuff on stage as well.
Who is
Nice.
I can't remember their name.
Now, if you can ever find out their name, send it AJ's way.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look it up while you guys are talking.
Nah.
If my friend, I doubt my friend's watching, but if he was, he might be pissed that I don't remember.
You should see if Jody's even back yet. Jody, if you can hear us. Or whoever's watching, Justin, if you're still here. Maybe you can message him. Trying to think. AJ, have you ever seen the Problem Child movies?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, so one of the actors from the second one, his name is Eric Edwards. We're going to actually be having him on our stream on the 31st. So he's been in Problem Child 2. He's been in Sergeant Bilko. I think he was in one of the National Lampoon's movies. Been in quite a bit. So we could
That'll be
get to
the
have
one.
him on the show.
That'll be the one after this one.
Yes.
2 weeks from now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
He's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he barely just started his Instagram because he doesn't have like too many followers yet. But I know one of my Instagram friends / YouTube friend also is a guy named Brendan, but he calls his YouTube channel Wet Movie One.
Hmm.
And he lives in LA, so he kind of gets to meet celebrities and kind of befriend some of them. And Eric Edwards happened to be one of those people. And he had mentioned he had an Instagram, and I was like, oh, crap, let me go hit him up, and see if he wanted to join. And
It's
he said,
nice
yeah, sure.
to sneak in there when they're just getting that stuff established.
Yeah, basically, yeah, because I had another actor on my channel originally. His name is Charlie Talbert. He played in the movie called Angus. It's from like 1995. Kathy Bates played his mom, and the actor named George C. Scott played his grandpa. And it's kind of a coming of age movie. James Vanderbeek, he's in there from Dawson's Creek. It's a good movie. It's a comedy. It's also a drama. But I had him on my channel at one point. The guy who played Angus.
Heck yeah.
That was fun. I've been trying to get him back, but he's been busy. He's trying to do a project. So
Secret project?
no, not necessarily secret. More of like it's an animation. I think that he's trying to get done.
Speaking
So,
of
like-
animation,
Oh yeah, what's up?
have you guys seen the new Pinocchio?
No, the one on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
No, I
Uh,
haven't yet.
I watched
How
it
is
a
it?
couple nights ago based on a friend's recommendation. And
Yeah.
it is pretty amazing. There's like so many different reasons why. So the whole thing is stop motion, true stop motion,
Nice.
which is awesome. And then it's just spooky. Like it's dark throughout the whole thing, and there's not even like a happy ending. It's like
Oh
a
wow!
very depressing, sad film.
Almost like a grim approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. And then they have a half-hour documentary that you can also watch on there about all of the puppets and how they shot all the scenes and
Mhm.
how long it took and stuff. So it's cool to see like some of the Pinocchio puppets are literally the size of like a four-wheeler, and then other ones are so
Dang.
tiny that they like fit in between their
Yeah.
fingers. So it's pretty wild how much work went into that.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite stop motion animation movies is actually Coraline.
I love Coraline.
Coraline's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
And it just got a 4K release. I don't know if you have like say a 4K TV or 4K player, but it's one I would definitely recommend if you happen to have.
Yeah, we're about to upgrade the television like in the studio area, so I'm sure that something like that will end up being the case, a 4K of some sort.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you were to get a TV, what I would recommend is an OLED, the organic lighting. Because if it's going to be like a dark area where it's not too lit, too bright, it'll be a perfect, theater TV, so to speak. But if it's going to be around, like, say, bright lights and stuff, then your brighter TVs like QLED would be good.
Cool. Definitely keep it in mind. It's going to have to be giant because it's the way that this is set up. It's literally going to be in front of my projector screen because we have a projector back here also.
Oh,
it
nice.
just never gets used. So I was like, well, I'm kind of sick of like not watching television back here. So I'll just get a giant TV that we can just move if we're ever going to use the projector. So I think like probably like an 80-inch or 82 or something.
Best Buy has pretty good deals. I would check Best Buy out. Or if you have a Costco near you.
Yeah, we have some in Columbus.
Nice. Definitely recommend that.
Okay.
But my friend's band's name is Last of the Dodo.
Last of the Dodo.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Last of the Dodo.
Yeah.
If they're not copywritten, we could play it.
If I could, yeah. But I know Brian, the main, well, Brian's like the lead singer, and he does all their artwork. He was like a art major and stuff like that, so he does pretty good stuff.
Nice.
I don't know if he did all this stuff or not. I assume he did. He's pretty talented, but
On their Instagram.
I think
this
it's
is a Facebook.
probably Last of the Dodo, more than likely. Hang on a second.
I'm on it right now.
Oh, nice.
They've got guys in skirts.
Yeah, it's probably my buddy. I'm not a big fan. I don't like the satanic masks either myself, but I'm not a big fan of that. But
Yeah.
they all kind of look kind of cool though. But look.
I'll have to look that up myself after.
Yeah. Their music's pretty interesting. I think they got like at least one horn guy in it, so it's kind of a weird mix of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have to be weird with a name like that.
Yeah.
Last of the Dodo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've had both Sid and Jay in your shop. Now you just need to get the rest of them.
Right. Yeah. That's what everyone on the internet keeps telling me. I'm like,
I mean, it's cool. Kind of like seeing one at a time, one member at a time to come in instead of the whole band together,
yeah.
Because then you have that intimate conversation with them too.
If I had to guess, if there was going to be another member that showed up, it would probably be Corey.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Just because he seems pretty outgoing with that type of shit, and I've already shot with him on the channel before, so there's kind of an established relationship there. But I think
that's
his
good.
video would be pretty neat. I think he has some stories to tell that probably haven't been covered.
Oh, I'm sure. He's a physical media buff too, from what I understand, because he was on the Steve-O's Wild Ride, and he talked about how his first real big paycheck, he went into a Best Buy and basically bought all the DVDs that were in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually the video that we shot when we were doing it. I was like, I don't want to talk about the bands. I would just want to talk like collector to collector. So the whole interview was talking about like his collections and what he does with it. And,
he'd be a fun conversation to have with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially from a collector's point of view, because I mean, get over the years, just kind of getting to know his way of collecting, because he collects like a bit of everything. Kind of like how he collects certain, like say, action figures or certain comic books or certain movies or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of cool to pick his brain.
Yeah. I'd like to see. I wish somebody would do like a tour video of his collection. I think it'd be neat to see, because he has to have like the ultimate nerd. Cave or whatever. But I've never seen it. I've seen some photos, maybe from a magazine a long time ago or something, but nothing like a walkthrough video of any sort.
Huh. Well, it's funny because the comedian Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, there's actually a YouTube video of him kind of showing off the stuff he's collected, even as an adult, kind of stuff. He's very into the, Marvel stuff, Transformers, stuff like that, so he collects that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I think that humanizes a celebrity more than anything. It's like seeing
definitely
be a dork also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Martin Scorsese's a big physical media collector.
Oh yeah.
Like big movie collector. I don't know if he's ever showed his collection, but there's this other rich guy that put a video out on YouTube showing his collection off, and he was talking about it, and he's like, yeah, Marty probably, if I have like 12 or 13,000 in my collection right now, he's probably got 15 or 16,000 movies in his collection. Something crazy like that,
Kirk Hammett from Metallica is like a massive horror collector.
Oh, is he?
He actually has a coffee table book out of his collection, but again, I would still just much rather see like a full in-depth walkthrough video of his collection. I like to see how stuff's displayed. Like, I feel like once you get to a certain point in collecting, like the items are always cool, but start getting excited over like proper displays and cabinets and like shelving units and weird stuff like that. So, I get excited for stuff like that.
He's probably got a lot of VHS stuff like that, because that's the big horror collectors thing, kind of niche is VHS, because there was a lot of stuff put out on VHS that's not been put out on DVD or anything.
Rob Zombie, avid collector.
Yeah,
very big
pretty
collector.
well documented too, though.
Yeah, like he was on MTV Cribs and he showed off his little hallway of horror movies, basically. Yeah. And then he talked about, now I'm going to have to get all these on DVD now. And it's what he said, like, if he was annoyed, like, God damn it, knock it off or something.
Yeah, I remember that. And he's got a cool section of, like, his own screen-used movie stuff, too, which I think is cool.
He's not going to lie, he kind of looks like my dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I always told, I just don't care about Rob Zombie's music at all. Like, I love White Zombie. I think White Zombie is one of the coolest things ever. But I always said, it would be so easy to replace Rob Zombie because you could grab any homeless guy and he would fit the part perfect, and he would probably sound just like him live.
Probably because he's using like chorus flange effects or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. More human. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw his performance at the VMAs, and he almost tried to be all hip hop in a sense, like whatever or something like that.
Yeah, he's a person for sure.
Oh, definitely. I'm surprised they were even a band from when he was talking about how toxic they were, because he was talking, I think, to Joe Rogan about it.
I don't know, man. I think Shania Salt is like a saint and like an angel. I can't imagine that she was the hard one out of those people to work with. I'd say that it's probably Rob Zombie. He seems like a diva. The dude moved
I believe it.
The dude moved into a mansion that was next to a skate park, a pre-existing skate park, and then rallied to have the skate park shut down because it was too loud.
Wow.
That is like
to a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just a rock, like a metal musician, like you are punk rock. And I
know you're on a stage with music blasting in your ear, and you're complaining about boards hitting the ground.
Yeah, and it's skateboarding. It's cool shit. It's not like a stupid fucking baseball game or something.
Exactly. I know. Here.
Well, that Munsters movie, like I've actually not watched it all the way through, but I've seen it a good chunk of it, and it's just horrible. Like you can't claim to be a big fan of the Munsters and make that crap. I mean, it's just like what the hell were you thinking?
I haven't even watched it.
Because I mean, you could have somebody like Rod Zombie could have done something like really, dark and actually kind of adapted it differently. I mean, I know the show was camp and but I mean the show was it was camp, but it wasn't like Batman camp, the '60s Batman camp. That's almost like what they tried to make the movie into. It was just cheesy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really understand that move at all because I like his other movies. I like those just fine. I think they're.
I saw a commercial and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
I made my decision.
Yeah.
That can happen. Definitely.
I'm not a Munsters guy anyways. Like Munsters is cool, but I was definitely Addams Family growing up. So.
Oh yeah,
same here. I like both. But. Now, I do want to watch Wednesday. I've heard that's kind of good.
I have watched it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Because at first, you're like, what the fuck am I watching? But then as it progresses, it's like, you know what? This is actually fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I didn't make it far enough in then. Because I watched an episode and a half and was like, yeah, I'm done.
No, it gets better, in my opinion, just from me watching it alone. You may not like it. You may be one of the few that are just not into it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm really into now. I was nervous because I love the game so much, but The Last of Us. Man, episode 1, I watched it last night, and it's awesome already. So.
I've been hearing a lot of good about that.
Was really concerned. The game is so good. It's the best story-driven game I've ever experienced. So I've never been more connected to two characters than I was to Joel and Ellie from the game. So when they said we're doing a TV show, I was like, fuck, they're gonna mess this up real bad. But episode 1, solid.
Well, I heard that the people who did the writing for the video game, they brought on to do the show.
Good. That makes the most sense out of anything. Who's gonna know? Yeah, the characters
that's probably why it's working.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it would make sense to have the people who do the creating behind, the job of the production of the movie too. Kind of like the live action Super Mario. I wish they would have had the original people who created the video game kind of give it a little bit more than what we got from it. I mean, don't get me wrong, little kid, I still enjoyed it, kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm like, they could have done so much better.
Yeah. I've always been worried about game to movie stuff after the Silent Hill shit.
Oh yeah.
Silent Hill was already in a downward spiral. The games themselves, because the games were getting away from Team Silent. I know that's cliche to say, but there was an obvious difference between the first 4 games and the rest in the series. Yeah. So they did the movie, and I'm like, man, they had the right idea, but why is Pyramid Head in this movie? Pyramid Head should only exist in James's timeline. That's a James monster. So, and then the second movie was one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen.
Well, I'm surprised that the Resident Evils lasted as long as they did.
I know.
Because I thought it was dwindling, and it didn't stop until like what, number 6 or 7?
Yeah, there's a shitload of them.
I have the collection set actually. It's right here.
That's the one thing I
This-
don't get into a whole lot is gaming.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I don't really play games. It takes a very specific game to even catch my interest
Like-
at all. The ones that I love, I
Well-
really love.
4, 5, 6.
Well, I like
So
Nintendo games and stuff like that. Like I like the Marios and some of the classic stuff. But I like, obviously I've got the new Zelda game pre-ordered. I like those games and Metroid and
I'm a Mortal Kombat guy.
Mega Man, things like that. But they've made some like the new Metroid game was pretty fun. It was still a side-scrolling game. I just always thought those type of games were a little more challenging.
You guys should check out Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares 2. It's a side scroller, but it's like brought into like the modern world, and it's extremely spooky yet childlike. Like the art style is very like childlike, but the game itself is scary as shit.
Yeah. My son right now, it's not a horror game, but it's a game called Far Cry.
Yeah, Far Cry.
And but I guess there's different versions of like Far Cry in general, and this one is kind of like apocalyptic, campy, side. It's almost like Walking Dead without the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's what he's into. Me, I'm kind of old school.
Yeah, it's all about the era, man. It's all about when you came into it.
Yeah, because I wasn't really a big gamer. It was more of just kind of playing what I liked, that actually grabbed my attention, because not every game was fun to me. It was more of like, I like Mortal Kombat, so Mortal Kombat is one I would definitely do. And then like, say, Street Fighter or Mario or Sonic, It's just the older stuff. I enjoy that better because, I don't know, because the other ones are more like Black Ops and like having to so much strategy now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last time I played like a Black Ops game was back when I had the Wii U, like back 2012, and when I played that game, what I didn't like about it is there's a lot of things, and not all the modern games are like this, but it had like a lot of segments where it was like auto. It like felt like the controls were taken over by the computer, and like you didn't have full control at all times, so it kind of took the challenge factor out of it. And I know all those games aren't like that, but for me, I think it's just what I grew up with. When I was young, I didn't have any video games. I mean, I think we had like an Odyssey, like my parents, which was like a Atari, knockoff Atari system, and then I got a Nintendo when I was probably 8 or whenever they first came out, and then I got fat, so. I was skinny. I was skinny until the Nintendo, and then I got fat.
Got to sue Nintendo. You'll be rich.
Yeah.
You're like the guy on South Park, the man which has no life.
Yeah. But it's just I think it's just a generational thing as far as games. You come up playing these new games, you just that's what you're going to be used to. There's nothing wrong with some of them. I mean, there's benefits to playing games. I'm sure it has some, but as far as hand-eye coordination and things like that, there are things that are upsides, but I think there's a lot of downsides as well as far as...
Oh, yeah.
It's like anything else. I mean, if all I did all day long was sit around here and watch movies and just constantly was watching movies 24/7, then this is be the same effect. Mm-hmm. It's the same effect as staying on your phone all the damn time, having a screen, looking at a screen all day long. It's the same thing. But
well, when it comes to like video games, like into movies, I think that's why I like Adam Sandler's Pixels so much, because that's very big on nostalgia, but very 80s driven nostalgia.
Yeah.
When it comes to like video games in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and it was a fun. And I know it wasn't well received with audiences, you know, but to me, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it, and it was probably because it kind of struck a nerve from my childhood, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ever go back and revisit something that you remember from your childhood and you're like, wow, this sucks?
Oh,
It,
yeah.
depends on what it is.
Well, what's reminding me of is every video game that I thought was cool when I was young. I was like, oh my God, this is so realistic. This is incredible. And then I go back and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did I think that this was so cool?
Oh, it's like, especially when you're a kid and you watch Disney movies and then you get older and you're like, the fuck was I watching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and especially like the guy who drew the dick on the Little Mermaid castle, you know?
Yeah. And
every kid looking at that cover.
Yeah. Yeah, those Easter egg things are weird, man.
They're funny.
Easter eggs and
good.
Mandela effect stuff.
Oh, yeah, like Berenstein, not Berenstain or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, there's some weird ones.
Was Steen, but now Stain. That's what it was, I think it was.
What did I watch? I just watched a movie here recently that I can't remember if it's the theater, but they actually it's in this. They bring that up in it. It's like they're making. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see what it was that I watched that was in. Oh, it was this movie here. It's in the script.
Oh, Amsterdam.
Yeah. Like they say it that like some guy, one of the characters, like his name like Berenstein or something. He said, "No, I'm Berenstein."
Oh,
Berenstein. I thought it was funny. That actually is not a bad movie. It's overall it's pretty good. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't watched Amsterdam, but I know that people were also thinking, like in Forrest Gump, that Tom Hanks said that life is like. But they didn't pay attention well enough because he was repeating what his mom said, past pretense, you know, kind of deal. So life was like a box of chocolates. So people are like, no, you said is. And it's like, no, if you watch the movie and actually pay attention, the mom tells him, and then he repeats it later on, you know, past tense.
I've watched some of those videos, and half the time, most of the things that most of the people claim is Mandela effect. I'm like, you know, I've read, you know, I like history, and I'm like, no, you're incorrect. Some of it would be like stuff that happened in World War II. It's like, well, they didn't talk about this, and I'm like, no, I mean that happened. That kind of stuff happened. That actually happened, and like,
or like Mandela being in jail. I guess that didn't happen either, right?
Yeah, that's where it came from. The Mandela effect. Yeah.
Everybody thought he died.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember everybody talking about, oh, he's dead. Oh, he did time, this and that. And it's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, he's alive.
Yeah.
Kicking. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, I think what I remember was everybody thought he was dead. Then he got released from prison or something. And everybody was like, wasn't he dead? And then again, when he actually did die, everybody was like, wasn't this guy dead? It happened twice in my lifetime, I think.
Yeah.
I thought he was already dead.
Yeah.
You mean he died twice?
Imagine being that guy, though, and being like, what the fuck, man?
Well, wait. The guy Everlast, I think it was. I know what it's like. That song.
Yeah.
He was the guy, I guess, that did House of Pain, you know, Jump Around.
Yeah.
And everybody thought he was dead.
I think that's because Eminem killed him.
Could have been. I don't know.
Him and Eminem had some beef back in the day, and Eminem's diss songs were pretty good.
Pack it up, pack it in.
Yeah, people do that on Instagram all the time. They'll post stuff like somebody died, like a celebrity died, and I'm like, really? Then I'm like, I've seen this before, so I have to look it up, and they're like, no, they didn't die. Yeah.
I'll have to double check.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I heard about Lisa Marie Presley dying, I was like, no way. So I had to look it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, she fucking died? That's horrible. Because she wasn't old.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I went and seen that Whitney Houston movie
Oh, how was
That
that?
biopic. It was all right, but it
Mm.
was it was pretty good, I guess. But it wasn't. I
Okay.
was thinking how strange it was that like she died of drowning, like a drug induced drowning, and her daughter died of a drug induced drowning just a couple years later. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys knew that. Yeah, but her it was
I think
pretty
I've heard
crazy.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But she died like the same way, like drowned in. I think like drowned in a bathtub from doing drugs, and then like basically passing out, falling asleep in the bathtub. Yeah,
I think La Bamba will
so
always be my favorite biopic.
that's a good one.
I love that
Well,
one.
and also the Buddy Holly story's good.
Oh,
With
the one with Gary Busey.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good
yeah,
one. I have the movie Elvis with Kurt Russell as Elvis.
yeah. Me too.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. What I like about that Elvis and the new Elvis is I think they when whoever wrote the new Elvis went and watched that movie and is like, hey, we don't want to tread over the same ground as that movie, so they kind of wrote a new kind of
Yeah.
wrote kind of the movie so it was almost like a companion piece, almost like you can watch both of them and not kind of retread over the same ground, kind of because really that movie doesn't cover Tom Parker at all in the
Hmm.
so it's pretty good. And the thing I like about Elvis, it's not. There's a lot of biopics, and I would say this a little bit about the Whitney Houston movie. It's kind of they're cookie cutter. They all kind of feel like they're made the same, kind of the same format. And I thought the approach to Elvis was different. I thought it just the visual approach and just the overall construction of the story and everything was really well done. So
Oh, nice. Yeah,
yeah, so
I'll
yeah,
have to check that out. Yeah, I've been
yeah.
actually wanting to see that movie. AJ, when it
With
comes to collecting masks and stuff, have you ever thought about collecting
you
just
know,
horror movies also?
I mean, I definitely have a horror movie collection for sure. I have a decent movie collection, nothing like what's in the background on John's
John.
camera there, but
yeah,
yeah, I have like
yeah.
I mean, pretty much anything that I'm into, I'm like a completist with it. So every Jackass DVD that you can imagine, down in through like what started Jackass. I've got all the CKYs, and I've got all the Big Brother VHSs,
Uh-huh.
and like all that kind of stuff. Nitro Circus shit.
Nice.
But then like, yeah, Silent Hill. It's like I don't like all the games, but I have all the games, and I don't like
Yeah.
either of the movies, but I have both of the movies, and then I have like the alternate covers and stuff. So it's definitely nothing like what this is or what you guys have going on. But
Yeah.
if
Do
it's
you say
like
you have?
the Funko thing, like I just collect what it is for what I like.
Yeah.
Did you say you had
Basically.
Big Brother? Is that the TV show Big Brother, or was that?
Big Brother was a skateboard magazine back in the
Okay,
day.
okay,
It was
okay,
super controversial.
okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that one, even though I was always into skating. I didn't
yeah.
skate a lot, but I was in keeping up with that stuff. I didn't know about that one.
They were
Watching the
like
X game.
people think that like Thrasher was like a hardcore skate magazine, but these guys were like next level with all kinds of shit. They were always in trouble.
Oh, I had a best friend, who's no longer a friend, but he was very big into skateboarding. He tried to get me into it and stuff like that. I wasn't the best when it came to actually riding, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so because of him, I was able to learn about, the skating community, so to speak.
yeah,
And that's why I'll be familiar with certain things. May not be all of it, but some things.
Yeah, so like just
That
for
is-
example of like them being controversial in the 90s, their skate video names were always titled something that you like couldn't market. They would have a video called shit.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the type of stuff that they were doing.
Sounds
They
about
kind
right.
of they kind of took the Bones Brigade to the next level, I guess.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
makes sense if you think about what Jackass is, that CKY and Big Brother were what came together to make what we have as Jackass now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it basically just kind of all came together as one team, and then Jackass was formed.
Yeah.
But
The
CK1 was a band as well, weren't they?
yeah.
It was what's his
The
name's brother? Brother was in it, wasn't he? The
Bam. Yeah.
Bam, yeah,
His brother Jess was the drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the articles that like started the Jackass video type thing was Johnny Knoxville did an article for Big Brother where he was testing self-defense mechanisms. So he like got maced and got electrocuted and got whatever. But the last thing was he wanted to test a bulletproof vest. And nobody would shoot him, so he shot himself with a revolver in the chest. And it's like the most gnarly clip I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd like to find some of that stuff because I've never really seen the CK1 stuff actually.
Yeah,
I always enjoyed.
It's
Jackass,
all on YouTube.
but
There's a ton of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
there's actually a Big Brother documentary out right now. I think it might be on Paramount.
Oh, okay.
But I would definitely check it out. It's got all that footage in it.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Are you a fan of the show Ridiculousness on MTV?
Not really.
Is Rob Dyrdek being a skater himself?
I don't know, man. I feel like MTV just became Rob TV. So I went from when Rob and Big was new, that was my shit. Like I loved Rob and Big, but it was just like, how much stuff can this guy do? And like, how corny can he get? I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, I liked Rob and Big, and Fantasy Factory had some decent stuff.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, I don't know. Not a big fan of Chanel West Coast and all that stuff. She's hot. She was hot for the day, but I mean, white girl rapper, Yeah. And I never did think their stuff was that good either.
Yeah.
As long as you make your money, though.
Not a fan of her music, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how really she came to be on that show. But I can't believe that she was just working the front desk of the Fantasy Factory.
Yeah.
It had to be like some kind of casting deal because
I just think, she was just playing a character.
Yeah, it has to be because you don't have because like I don't know if it's in the first season because she does that bikini shoot in it, and like that's what because you really don't see much of her throughout the season or whatever, and then they do that bikini shoot and you're like, oh my god, she's like pretty damn hot, and I'm like there's no way she's just somebody's secretary, Mm-hmm. And anyway, she was probably young at that point anyway. She was no way she was. Yeah, but she's hot, but she's also like trailer trash hot at the same time.
I don't even know if I can find her attractive because of that fucking laugh. I've heard the laugh too many times.
That's true. That is true. Well, I was waiting for show some of my stuff here, but this is a pretty cool. This isn't new. It's hard to see.
Highlander?
It's kind of reflecting.
Yeah, kind of hard to see with the reflection, but I can tell what it is because of the sword.
That's not anything new, but I picked it up when it came out, so it's pretty good looking. Did you pick it up, Charlie?
I got the movie, but not the steelbook.
Look. Now this is a crazy find that I found out about. It's actually a Kino Lorber set, but it's called OSS 117.
Huh.
It's a French James Bond like ripoff, but it's made by in France.
Yeah.
But it's about an American spy instead of a British spy in the OSS, obviously. And it's just like a James Bond type kind of comedy. It's pretty good stuff actually, but it's all subtitled. It's shot, it's obviously in French.
John, have you tried the Whatnot app yet?
Whatnot? No, I don't think so.
It's where you can buy movies and magazines, Funkos, like you can collect your stuff off of Whatnot from other sellers.
Oh yeah.
And they sell lesser than you buy them on eBay kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
In fact, AJ, I think there are people who do some masks on there too.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know if you've ever checked it out, but
I don't remember if I have
This,
either. I mean, it definitely sounds familiar, but
yeah, it's called Whatnot.
now, now this is an interesting movie here called Failsafe. This is the Criterion.
Huh? Never heard of
Failsafe,
that one.
Failsafe came out in '64. It came out after Doctor Strangelove, but Failsafe was actually a book, and it's kind of based on the same premise. They're both based on the same premise, but obviously Doctor Strangelove was like a comedy, and this was a drama. And Doctor Strangelove, it was kind of the whole situation set off by a human trying to basically wanting to cause nuclear war, and this is because of a computer malfunction that's causing it. So it's a very similar story of the same.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool though if you're
nice.
familiar with Doctor Strangelove.
I have Doctor Strangelove.
But I picked that up as
Oh
well.
yeah, I watched that.
Yeah,
That shit's hella funny.
that's pretty funny.
AJ, are you a fan of Nicolas Cage?
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because that movie, if you haven't seen it, because it's about him. Like
yeah.
it's a Nicolas Cage movie,
Hmm.
and one scene that made me laugh so hard without being a big spoiler or anything like that. The guy goes, "What's your second favorite movie of all time?" And the guy, and it's Pedro Pascal, the guy who played Mandalorian Mando, who goes, "Paddington 2." And he goes, "No fucking way. No fucking way that's the second best movie that you're going to pick." And then it cut to them like ending the movie and you see Nicolas Cage, "Oh my God, that was the best movie ever." And Pedro goes, "I fucking told you."
Wow.
It's funny. You should check it out.
I love. I know it's dumb, but I love seeing Nicolas Cage on SNL with Andy Samberg as Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
So they're like
yeah.
together, and yeah, I always thought those skits were pretty funny.
That was hella. Or like when Chad Smith and Will Ferrell.
Yeah, yeah, on the
That shit
drum
was
battle
hella
or whatever.
funny.
Yeah,
That so bugged the
Listen.
shit out of him. What's that one?
Black Adam.
Oh, Black Adam.
The
I'm not a
Steelbook, yeah.
fan.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it until I bought it, so I just went in and picked up the Steelbook, and it's all right. It's not great. It's not much to it. I don't think. Yeah.
Visually cool, but like storyline lines and stuff like that, no. They didn't do it justice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Pierce
Yeah, I agree.
Brosnan, I know he could do better than that.
Yeah.
Knowing his background talent and, movies and stuff, he could have been
Yeah,
utilized so much better.
Yeah, that's a cool character too that he played. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did pick this up, Charlie. I'm sorry we're doing kind of the physical media
Clerks
thing.
3.
Yeah, this movie, it had some funny moments, but it's too meta. It's just way too meta to.
Well, remember, it's basically Kevin Smith's near-death experience.
Yeah, I know, but that's what meta is. It's like telling your own story, but I mean, it's just lazy It's lazy writing, not so much filmmaking. The movie looked all right, but it's just lazy. It's like
I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't care much for it. I thought it was kind of lazy. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying, me personally, I liked it for what it was, and I understood it,
Yeah.
And the fact that it was kind of like a reality check to the friends with each other kind of thing. Like, I'm stuck with you. I've always cleaned up after you. Da-da-da-da. It's surrealism in a sense.
Yeah, it was too much fan service too. It's like it's one big Easter egg kind of movie.
Kinda.
It's like, and I hate seeing him go down this path. Because I think he had some talent. I don't think he's made a great movies in a while. I like the second Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Oh, the reboot one.
Yeah, the reboot, but it was all right. But he. Like
I don't know if you noticed, but Jason Mewes' teeth so fucking white in that movie.
I'd say they're not real anymore.
Yeah, they could be dental work. It could be dental work. AJ, did you see the Evil Dead Rise trailer?
I did.
And what'd you think?
I don't know how I feel about it. I really, really liked the Evil Dead remake, but This one just seems odd to me. I don't know. There's
Really?
Who made
Kind
it?
of it kind of got me.
Because I haven't seen the trailer yet. Who made it? Did Sam Raimi make it, or is it
I
somebody
don't
else?
think Sam Raimi has anything.
I don't. Yeah, no. I think it's
Yeah.
just Bruce Campbell who helped produce it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that could be interesting. Bruce Campbell's pretty good, but I don't.
Yeah.
Hey,
it
you never
depends.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it just because I did enjoy the remake so much, but trailer did not sell me.
Did you get to watch Megan?
No, I don't think I'm going to either. No, I
I was curious how you were going to answer that.
Yeah, I watched. I have like a couple movie reviewer dudes that I watch that I trust, and you can get the gist of it from that. As if you couldn't get the gist of it from the fucking commercials.
Yeah. Who do you watch for your movie reviews?
I love Dr. Wolfula.
Wolfula. Okay.
I love Stitched Together Productions. Like this character's name is Andy, and he's essentially like a horror host, but he's a mental patient. So there's 3 versions of him. There's like normal Andy that reviews the whole movie, and then there's like childlike Andy that butts in with like innocence, and then there's like evil Andy who will like come in and shit on everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's got a cool
That's
stick.
interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a guy that I watch. His name is Chris, but he calls his channel 3C Films.
Yeah.
And he gives reviews, but he also does movie news. Anything that's coming or being talked about, whatever it may be, he's there to basically tell you what's up and coming.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that channel name before.
Yeah, no, he's a fun watch because.
Does he sit at a desk with like toys and shit on it? Yeah.
Yes, and he's a collector himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed.
Big time collector. Oh, look who it is.
I'm in the car.
Yeah, like the last, 5 minutes?
I figured I'd hop on and catch a little bit of you guys. Hey, what's going on?
We were just
hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I figured. I was like, oh, shit, they're going to be wrapping up any second now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good time for the draw then. You can be here for the drawing.
I know, exactly.
Are we doing that? Let's do it.
We might as well.
Well, the thing is we've only got 4 on the board. I'm kind of disappointed. We've had a lot more people in here, but nobody
said anything?
Yeah, I mean, Justin's got the last 20 comments, I think.
Damn.
Yeah. So we got 4 people, but how do we want to do this? Because we got a winner. All 4 of them win, but do we just want to spin?
Do we just want to do one for tonight then?
We can. I don't even know what we're giving away. Did y'all discuss that?
Yeah.
He did pick 4. Did he?
Did he?
If I have to pick one, I know what one I want to pick.
Well,
okay. We'll just do one.
Green Mile.
Green Mile? Okay.
Cool.
All right, let's go ahead and do those 4 then.
All right, here we go.
Bum, 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 bum.
And remember, if it picks your name, that does not mean you won. That just means you're being eliminated.
Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Who's on it? I'm having to use my phone right now, so everybody's tiny, really tiny. Oh, Justin's the first one to go. Dang, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
What are the
I bet
chances?
he's like, son of a bitch.
Oh, that sucks.
He should get something just for participating so hardcore.
Right?
He should. Like, you know what, Jody? You do have those little stickers and pins and stuff. Maybe you should send him one of those.
Hit me up, Justin. We'll find you something.
Okay.
Who's next? Who's next?
Was that Blair?
Blair.
Sorry, Blair.
That sucks too,
Blair.
because she's like super supportive on my stuff. Or he.
Oh,
I
really?
don't know if it's a guy or a girl now that I'm thinking about it.
Shit.
So who's going to win?
Looks like Chad's out. So what was the other one?
Angel something, right?
The big winner?
Angel Enriquez. Enriquez.
Hey! He was a winner
Whoops.
previously. I still owe you the other one. You get 2 coming.
Of the Green Mile 4K.
Nice.
Angel. Do you have his information?
I do. Yeah. We chat on Instagram. So yeah. That's
Okay.
cool.
Good.
Excellent. Hope he stuck around.
If not,
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll rub it in if you didn't. I'm like, oh man, you missed it. You won, but since you weren't there,
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in the interaction. We've had quite a few people in here, but just not a lot of people wanting to talk tonight, just listening. That's all right as well. Some people, I'd rather, when I go into other channels, watch live streams, I usually just watch and don't run my mouth and super
Right.
chat and all that shit. I have to
Yeah.
get I have to, I want to get, everybody has to hear my thoughts. I just rather, sometimes I just want to listen and learn.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And with me talking, there's nothing to learn, but some of these other guys, so.
Well, sorry, Jody, that you were only able to come in the last little bit.
I'm sorry, guys, but this whole everything that was causing me problems tonight should be over. So the next show, I will be here, 100%.
Next show with Eric
Yeah.
Edwards.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes,
That
our
should be fun.
first actual actor.
Yeah, right. That's gonna be cool.
Yes, so that's going to
Excellent.
be exciting. But AJ, thank you for joining us, man.
Thanks
Yeah,
for having
thank you.
me again. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
buddy.
It's
Yeah.
fun as usual.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And
Anytime you hit me up, I'll say yes.
awesome.
Awesome.
Good to know.
Awesome.
Good
Yep.
to know. And everybody, have a good night. You can follow us
Yep.
on all of our platforms. I'm Charlie's Cinematic Universe. You got Stills raising 4Ks, and then you've got John with Low IQ Media and
Yep.
the House of Masks
Yes.
with AJ Good.
AJ,
All right, everybody,
thank
have
you
a good night.
guys.
Night,
Thank you.
guys.
Take care.